Welcome to another exciting event of reading and writing. Your patience and dedication to learn new things are truly remarkable. Hello, grade 11 students. I am teacher Josefa, your companion in understanding the ins and outs of article critique. Are you ready? Join me then as we continue to explore, discover, and experience what reading and writing has to offer this fourth quarter. Now, grab your pen, answer sheet, and let's start. In this journey, you are expected to formulate, to review, and to compose critical essays. Thus, this lesson provides varied activities that will enhance your skills in formulating and composing essays.
These are our objectives. Number 1, determine the purpose of an article critique. 2, analyze the features of an article critique. And number 3, produce an effective article critique.
Every day, we are reading articles in the newspapers. We are also listening to the newscasts. As you take in the information, do you react negatively or positively? This time, I will be reading to you about what happened when Taal volcano erupted on the 12th of January 2020. Listen carefully because after the reading, you will be asked to answer some questions.
Youth told to show patriotism through community service by Lay Jean Cabagani. The Philippine Air Force, Civil Military Operations, and members of the Supreme Student Council Society of the Philippines deliver relief items to affected families of Taal's eruption in Malvar, Batangas on January 17 and 18. The military is encouraging the youth to do community service instead of joining the militant groups.
Before proceeding with the activity, here are some reminders. 1. Kindly pause this video and answer each question. Then, hit the play button when you are done.
These are the questions you should ponder. 1. What is the title of the article? 2. Who is the author of the article? 3. What is the purpose of the article? And number 4, what is the author's main point?
Alright, let's check your answers. Number 1, the title of the article is Youth Told to Show Patriotism Through Community Service. Number 2, the author is Lay Jean Cabagani. Number 3, the purpose of this article is to inform. And number 4, the main point is to motivate the youth to use their time wisely. An article critique is a genre of academic writing that provides critical evaluation through intensive analysis of an article. In other words, article critique is not just a summary, but a commentary, since it presents critical assessment of the article's content, and it may offer agreement or disagreement about the ideas of the author. Moreover, a critique is not only a criticism, but it is a style of an essay in which you identify, evaluate, and respond to an author's ideas, both positive and negative. Therefore, doing an article critique requires you to read and understand first a piece of research before identifying and evaluating its strengths and weaknesses. Now, these are the reasons why we write an article critique. It is to describe the main ideas and what the author wants to express, to analyze each important and interesting point, to interpret the author's intention, and to summarize and evaluate the value of an article. Now let's move on with the structure of an article critique. First, we have the introduction, which would be followed by the body paragraph, and then finally the conclusion. So in the introduction, the author's name and the title of the article should be included, as well as the author's main point, and of course, your thesis statement. Next to introduction is the body paragraph, which has two parts, namely the summary and the critic section. The summary is the first body paragraph that summarizes the article. It states the overall intention of the author and the main point of the work. In here, you use your own words to summarize rather than the author's exact words, and do not write your opinions on this part. Next to that is the critic section. This part is longer than the summary because it analyzes the logic of the author's arguments, the author's assumptions, style or tone of the work, and the successfulness of the author to prove his or her point. The third part of an article critic is the conclusion. This part summarizes the key points in the article as well as the points from one's own analysis, and it ends with a comment about the significance of a statement. The conclusion restates the main points and it gives a general opinion about the article. It may also include a recommendation to the reader. Were you able to understand the lesson? If not, you can always replay this video and go back to the discussion part. If you were able to follow, then you may continue. I have here a series of activities that will help you better understand the lesson. For your first activity, read and analyze carefully the essay entitled National Pride of the Filipino Youth. After reading, complete the table by providing the correct details. I will give you 15 minutes to read this essay. Please pause this video and play it after you completed the table. Write your answers on your answer sheets and don't forget to pass your answer sheets on Monday.
So, how did you do with your first activity? Did you provide the correct details? I hope so. Now let's proceed with the next activity. Read the sample article critic attached in your answer sheet and analyze it by how the writer A. Introduced the summary of the article's major points, B. Addressed all elements and offered a complete and clear critic, C. Presented the evidence, and D. Ended the paragraph. Finally, we have reached our last activity. Read and understand the journal carefully and write a critic about it, applying what you have learned from the lesson. Also, consider the following criteria as your guide. So this activity is 50 points in total, 20 points for content, 15 for organization, and another 15 for grammar. For the content of your work, you could earn as much as 17 to 20 points if your findings are relevant and were stated concisely and clearly, but you could also get as low as 1 to 4 points if the major ideas are largely undeveloped or unexplained. Under organization, 13 to 15 points may be achieved when your ideas are well organized and you follow the structure of making an article critic. But I would give you 1 to 3 points if you did not follow the structure. I would also be checking your grammar lapses. 13 to 15 points for no grammatical errors, but you could also get a low score depending on how major your lapses are. For further understanding on these rubrics, you may pause this video to read further.
Congratulations, learners, for completing this lesson. See you on your next journey.